All right, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over the LS 8HP accessories. This is all your jewelry for your 8HP swap. A lot of this is applicable no matter what engine or whatever DCT or 8HP you have, whether it's BMW or Dodge. Some of the specific products we're going to show are because we have the Dodge 8HP in the car, but I'll let Mike go over shifting at that side of the table and we will pretend to work this way.
Yeah, so basically shifting obviously is the most fun part of your 8HP swap. And with all the controllers, basically every sort of shifter is compatible. Every controller we offer, CAN TCU, Turbolamic, and Max ECU is compatible with factory shifters, including the BMW ones and a Dodge one. They're also compatible with keypads and even Zestec steering wheels, which we offer as well. All these three are considered CAN bus shifters, so they're going to send their signals through the CAN bus to the modules. More traditional shifters are also compatible, such as the DCT shifter sequential style shifter. This is going to give you it feels like a sequential style shift. These are going to be digital inputs, as well as with the paddles we offer. Very satisfying. This goes between the steering wheel and the hub, and you can wire these with things like this that we offer. Well, twirly cord to be digital inputs. And digital input means when you press the button, it connects to ground. And so the transmission controller is looking for that ground signal to then shift whichever way you're going. The next most important things, I guess, are drive shaft.
Moving the wheels?
Yeah, probably moving the wheels. So this is the drive shaft out of my race car from last year. It's not as pretty as Chris's. It looks brand new in there that we offer, but we can help you with custom drive shafts no matter the application. There's accessories such as these billet output yokes. Now these can help you adapt transmissions that have weird outputs to a more traditional style 1350 joint, or we have these tripod adapters, which are more of a BMW style that again adapt the tripod and Gibo to a 1350 style U-joint. We use double-ended 1350 style U-joints all of our drive shafts with an internal slit made by Dana Performance. Works pretty awesome, very strong as well. Cooling.
You got a bunch of cooling options. You can go traditional with just like your 24 row, your 18 row bar and fin, or you can go step up, which this is a water cooled. So you put this post radiator pre-engine. So the cold air coming out of your radiator would cool the transmission.
Water.
What did I say? Air? Air? No, not air, water. So the water coming out of your radiator before it goes to the engine would cool down your trans oil. These ones are more efficient than your 24 row or any of your extruded core front mounts, but they're a little bit more difficult to package. So either one is really dependent on your application. The 8HP isn't crazy sensitive with temperature. You definitely want a cooler no matter what you're doing. The DCT is the one that you really need to cool. It's very temperature dependent.
Yeah, and this you're gonna want to run a regulator, a thermostat type temperature regulator for the air to oil. With the water cooler, it's not as necessary because the coolant's actually gonna bring the transmission temperature up faster and then regulate it pretty consistently. There's pluses and minuses, but when capable, we run these.
Next, we offer a bunch of HPR goodies. This one is specifically for GR86 or BRZ. This will just hold your transmission in the car. This is very vehicle specific. Obviously, there's a bunch of ways to skin the cat. You can make your own brace like you'll see in my car, or there's a bunch of companies that offer nice fancy braces.
Oh, there's cooling adapters.
Yeah, this is the thermostat one.
Yeah, that's the thermostatic cooling adapter for Dodge. Pretty nice.
So if you do want to run that with a thermostat, HPR, and improved racing, so we carry these. This has the thermostat in it. If not, you can run just fittings on the side of your transmission, and you could run an inline thermostat like a Mishimoto or an improved. There's a billion inline, but you'd use a more traditional standard AN fitting. Next, we have our park lock kit. So we're going to actually install this one on my vehicle real quick. When you come to a stop, the vehicle is going to go into park. Pretty standard. When you turn it off and there's no oil pressure, the transmission goes back to park. And if you have a race car and you're used to breaking down like us, you need to be able to roll your car around. Or you want to be able to roll it around in the shop. So instead of...
Or winch it on a trailer.
Or winch it on a trailer. There's a lever on the side of the transmission that's basically impossible to get to. So if your tow guy or whoever, they're going to yell at you. You'd have to jack up the car and like hold it with your finger. It's basically impossible to do. So we offer this park lock kit. You can route it anywhere into your vehicle, and then you just get a little T-handle, and you can pull this, and what it does is it's your permanent neutral. So if you leave it clicked in, it will just stay in neutral forever. It won't go back to park. So if you turn the vehicle off on a hill, it will just start rolling. You can use this just in emergency situations, or you can leave it on. It's truly up to you.
It basically just releases the parking ball. So it's a manual release. So a lot of these cars, like the OEM Dodge, will have like a hidden release that's like underneath the center console. You have to pull up the trim, and the tow guy will pull it, and he'll put the car into neutral, and it's a normal thing to do. This is sort of our universal aftermarket application of the same kind of feature.
So these are basically all the accessories you could get with your 8HP.
There's more.
There's probably more.
Check out our website. There's lots of stuff. But
yeah. These are the overview. I would say that 90% of the customers, whenever you do swap, these are the basic ones that you get with it.
Kind of popular products would be like these tripod adapters, super popular for BMW swaps. These paddles are like one of our best sellers because they're just so crisp compared to competition, and how you have so much width adjustment and height adjustment. There's just
they make cool clicky stuff.
That's nice.
Same with the DCT shifter.
Yeah.
Like if you want to rip,
like that's so
very satisfying.
Yeah, so satisfying. And then the Zest Deck, of course, is really kind of like the future. It's fully can control, so you can control your things your ECU does, your car does. I have windshield wipers, pit load, speed limiter, headlights, all sorts of stuff you can put on these. Yeah, I mean, I guess what are we gonna do today though?
I'm gonna put in the part. I put the drive shaft in already, and I have a cooler in, so we can show those in the car. They're not very exciting. You can see my hacked up trans brace that I got, but I think the majority of this is going to be installing this.
All right, let's install the park cloth. First things first is mount your pull base to the car. You have a threaded tip on the cable, and you're going to use these nuts to tighten it down, and you can adjust the preload. So you're going to want to basically preload it. You'll do it when the wire's in the car, but install it with zero preload and then add a little bit of preload to the wire. That's going to get the best result. So we'll just start right there in the middle. You can go a little left, to be honest. Doesn't need to be in there far. We'll go from there. I think Chris is in a nice spot for this, so we'll have to see.
I have mine mounted on the side of my tunnel here, so I'll have a little T-handle. Once it's done, I'm going to put the other bolt in, but we're going to route this forward. We're going to go through the access hole up there above the tunnel. Hopefully the cable will be easy to find, but so far so good. So now let's jump under the car, find that cable.
All right, so you can see we've routed the cable down here, and now it's time to attach the support parts.
This is death zone.
Yeah, this definitely is. So the first thing we're going to do is attach the side bracket.
Oh, yeah, I guess we could do that. I was going to say also we should try to swing this through this part of those lines.
Yeah, we can do that when the bracket's in.
Yeah, okay. Oh, this is probably a good opportunity to just take the whole pan off after.
Let's change it up.
Yeah, it's pretty beat. We got those sick pan replacements. So the filter is in the pan.
First step of the project is install the side bracket, which goes right here, essentially. So what we'll do is we'll take off this screw and then attach it there. I'll have to push the cooling hoses up a little bit to get access.
All right, bolts out. This is the danger zone.
Chris was saying headers had to be in the fucking way. Sense. Use the force, Anakin. Use the force. Feel the threads. Nope, I'm not going to Jedi.
Well, it'd be much easier if we just installed this before we put trans in the car. That's a recommendation to the YouTube right there. Get dressed before you go into the car. We're going to do the pan first because I'm not going to tighten that down and then remove it to remove the pan.
Yeah, all right, yeah, let's swap out the pans.
So we're going to swap out the pan.
We carry the pans as well. They're replaceable. The filter's in them.
The filter, yeah. Power. Oh, yeah. Just.
All right, check it out. Got the filter here. Comes just like this. As you can see, the filter is built into this section. It comes with new hardware. So really nice. This works on all everything except the 90. When you get used transmissions, make sure to check the filter for like white milky substance, and that would be water in the transmission. You don't want that.
Nope.
This transmission came with storage fluid. It's the thing a lot of junkyards pump into it. It's not transmission fluid. It's kind of just like a anti-rust, anti-corrosion kind of like thing they put in there. Probably it's really cheap recycled oil, honestly.
Well, at least everything.
It looked fine in there.
It looks fine. Yeah, it's got a little sparkles.
That's a little automatic transmission fluid life.
Junkyard. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Junkyard.
Fresh new hardware.
Oh yeah.
All right, got a little 10 mil. Pull the park lock back down yonder.
So first put the bottom screw in and then tighten up the top screw because the top screw is slotted. There's slight variations. While Chris tightens that, check this out. This is the HPR fast charger rear trains mount. This makes life, let me get a third light, yeah. So up in there you can see the HPR Dodge Challenger Charger Ultra Flex mount. This basically is a rear mount that includes 2 rubber bushings, so then on a flat plane to make making a crossmember really easy. On this crossmember, we took the Michael Page LS kit, which is made for like a 4LE, I think.
Yeah.
And we just cut it and put a cross, and we're all lined up and ready to go. Crossmembers just make life easy, save you time. So the outlet with brackets on, can you see that? Right there, the bracket is on. We're gonna put this end in this hole.
Oh yeah.
There you go. All right, so the next step is to, officer, you've been drinking tonight. The next step is to attach the cable to the swing arm, and then...
Well, we gotta put the swing arm part on. So you gotta take your...
It's easier to put the cable on the swing arm first, then put the swing arm on the transmission. Okay, so included in the kit is this swing arm. This goes on the transmission and swings like so. What you're gonna wanna do, put the bolt through like that, then we're gonna grab some Loctite and put it on the threads. And we're not gonna tighten it all the way. We're just gonna like leave it a little bit loose. See how the swing arm can move? We're gonna do it like that. But first, I'm gonna grab some Loctite. All right, sploosh that Loctite on there. This already isn't like you're not gonna want to torque this down. To torque this down, it'll break. And you're gonna go on the inside. So this is the inside. Just get it dialed in. It can move around. Absolutely awesome. All right, we can leave that there. Then we're gonna grab this nut, which is gonna hold it onto the transmission. But as you can see, it's keyed, so we're ready to go. We'll insert the wire and start pushing. Then we're going to put the arm onto the, whatever you want to call that, on the transmission. And then we're going to put the nut on.
Shit.
There we go. Look at that. No hands. I definitely use my
No
hands.
feet.
No feet. All right, so there you go. So that's on there. So now all we got to do is tighten it up.
Torque that thing down.
And we'll be good to go.
Got 13.
All right, back to programming.
Back to your regularly scheduled program. So technically this is all we're doing when we pull the lever. You can see part.
Kendra can't say anything.
Unbelievable, Kendra.
Open your mouth, Kendra. Tell us you can't see anything. It's our hands.
Was gonna happen.
This is like a hand fetish video.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone wants to see my hands. Okay, so now that we have the cable up through our hole, you're gonna mount your bracket wherever you want it. It's totally up to you. And for this, you're gonna need a 3 mil Allen, 2 12 mil wrenches. What we're gonna do first is we're gonna put the cable through the bottom of the bracket. We're gonna put this 12 mil nut on. And for now, just thread it down. And we're gonna take the handle, this part on it. It doesn't need to be super tight because the screws are small, but it does need to be tight. So you're gonna just kind of put this down till it sits in the first lock for now. And this doesn't need to be an exact because we're gonna tighten it up in a second. Let's snug this down. Okay, snug for now. So right now it's all loosey-goosey, and that's fine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some preload. What we're gonna do is we're gonna try to move this rod away, so that way when we pull it and actually get to the second lock, it's actually pulling on the trans, because you can see right now it's just pulling on the cable. So we're gonna load it in the first setting. We're gonna spin this down. It's gonna be done by hand. And it should take some force, but you can see that we're We're pulling on the actual transmission though. Now it's slid in here. So we gotta go a little bit tighter. Just move just a little bit. Let's just take some fine tuning. And when I pull, you can hear the transmission and it goes in there. It's nice and firm. Should take some force, not too much. Now what we'll do is we will wrench this one down and really just set it in. All right, pretty easy. Now we'll float around. And if I could use force, it goes in. Obviously, I'm in a weird position right now, so using a lot of just finger strength. You want it tight though. You don't want it flopping around too much. We have the spring that will hold this as well. But so this is when it's in park, it kind of is just flopping around. It's in the park. When it's in neutral, it's going to be tight on the bracket, so it'll be fine. But the spring just keeps this from shaking around. And voila, you have neutral in your transmission.